All right, and welcome to Psyched for Graduate School, the grad school program for the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay, or the grad school show for the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay. I'm Ryan Martin, chair of the psychology program here at UW Green Bay.
I'm Sawa Senzaki. I'm an assistant professor in human development and psychology.
Awesome, and thank you very much for doing this. With this episode, we're going to have been soliciting advice from current students who are currently applying to graduate school. I'm going to kind of tell you what they had to say, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So one of the themes that ran through all of these was start early.
Yes.
What would you say about that?
I agree, depending on the schools, but most schools have deadlines sometimes in December or January, which means you don't really have the winter break to work on this, unfortunately. So yes, it's really important to think about those deadlines as early as possible. There are many things involved in the application processes, so earlier is better.
Yep, and one of the things as I look through the responses I got is, start planning now, double exclamation point. Explore it early, start in the summer, things like that. And that even some of the things people didn't anticipate taking a long time, took a long time, like ordering your transcripts.
Right.
That getting the GRE scheduled and things like that. That those were all things that took a lot of time. So start early.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Stay organized was another thing that people said.
Yeah, I agree with that. It depends on how many schools that you apply to, but I myself applied, I think, close to 10 or maybe a little more, and start getting confused a little bit. And again, every school has different application processes, different schools require different materials, so maybe make a spreadsheet.
Yep.
That's also helpful for professors to write recommendation letters. If students have spreadsheet with different deadlines and different criteria, that's very helpful.
Yep. That is exactly what one of the students said. Create a spreadsheet regarding all the information on where you're applying. Makes things much easier to keep track of.
Yes.
And I can tell you honestly, if I'm sharing one of my sort of shame stories, is that I dropped the ball when I was applying to graduate school, and I thought that none of my schools required the subject test, and I said, okay, we're great. And then when it came time to apply, I realized one of them did, and I was just out of luck, right? Didn't get to apply to Notre Dame, but I still remember the school. That's how traumatic it was. So trying to stay organized, stay on top of that. I, of course, agree with the spreadsheet idea. And again, I put everything in a spreadsheet. All right, another thing that was brought up is that all faculty are willing to help. Know that, and know that you don't have to stick with just your major advisor or anything like that.
Right, absolutely, yes. Trying to find a school that you want to apply for was most challenging for me. I remember going through like a big phone book of all the graduate schools listed, and at the library spend hours just going through, flipping all the pages. But then at the end, what really helped for me at the time was my professors who helped me to tell me which schools were a good fit, and I couldn't really figure out at the time, but we faculty members, we have a lot of information, we have a lot of, we know who you are, and we know what schools are a great fit for you a lot of times, and talking, it really, I think that's a really great way to figure out all those details, and we are very happy to help you.
Yep. And the one, it's not a caveat, but the one addition, and this was a great comment by one of these students, is if you give them enough time and warning, they can answer any and all the questions you have. And I think that is a really important piece, is to go back to that first point, is if you're organized and you are staying on top of things, you make it so much easier on us to help you, and then we end up being able to give you better advice and better assistance. So staying on top of things that way. It's funny. I asked all these students, and those were the main things that they all seemed to have brought up. The kind of common themes. I think I'd add one thing, and it's just that be prepared for the cost of applying. Applications cost money. The GRE costs money. Ordering your transcripts costs money. Traveling to interviews potentially costs money. What additional advice might you have for people?
I think these are all really great advice. I can't really think of anything off of my head, but we are really here to help you, and that's what we love to do, and it's just, it's exciting to think about. I know it's stressful, but it's really exciting to think about your next step, so
I I was just doing some sort of Q&A yesterday and asked what my favorite part of my job was, and it's this is it. It's helping students figure out that next step, which for many is graduate school. So, I agree. We, I think the thing that I would, if I could offer one additional piece of advice to students, it is sort of being, well, it's not an additional piece, but being organized, staying on top of things, and then specifically with that personal statement. This is your opportunity, the personal statement is the opportunity to show them who you are that's separate from transcripts or scores.
Right.
And so starting on that, figuring it out, I bet that's most students' least favorite part, but it might be the most important part. And then, and get that document looked at,
absolutely.
By faculty, by the writing center, by your friends, by your parents, by whoever, anyone and anyone who will look at it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Can I just add to one?
Please,
Sorry.
go for it.
So again, starting early, and if you can, try to do individualized learning experiences like research assistantship, internships, TAs. In that way, we get to know you much better, and we can write better letters of recommendations. And we want to be helpful, and we want to know you better. So those things would really help us to get to know you better.
Right. Absolutely. So. That is all we've got for this episode of Psyched for Graduate School. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Salma, so much for helping us out. So great.
That's good.
That's all we got for today. Bye.
Thanks.